Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in and clicking on this video. So I'm going to be doing, obviously as you guys can see, a commentary on Gade's interview. Ooh, ciao. You guys know I already done a commentary when he done the interview with Jade Black, who is now known as Jade Blue. So yeah, this is not new to my channel at all. But yeah, let me just get right into the video because it was a very interesting interview. When I jumped on the interview, I think I was 20 minutes in, it had over 1k views. At current it's about over 5k views, so it has done really well. When he posted it on his Insta, everybody was very excited about this interview. It was like it was a shock interview. I don't think people expected it right now, which is a good thing, especially with everything that we know that has happened between them. If you guys don't know who they are, don't worry, I'm gonna fill you guys in. So I'm just going to, you know, give my little 2p as per usual. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting my channel. In the description is my PayPal and my Cash app. If you don't know who these people are, these are UK YouTubers, influencers, internet personalities. This might be a bit all over the place as they usually are. I'm just literally speaking from the top of my head, but I did write down a few notes so that I didn't forget key things that kind of stood out to me. But I just want to put it out there, if you have been watching my channel, I've said this before, you might have clocked on, but I've always kind of felt like UK influencers, for the most part, some of them kind of thrive off drama, and that's kind of how they feel like they stay relevant, is when drama is involved. And I'm glad that Gade kind of stated that, because that's what I've been saying all along, and I really like the fact that they were open and transparent and very real. The amount of drama that doesn't happen as much now for most of them, but that used to happen, that is, for me anyway, that's how I knew a lot of them. It was literally from the drama, you know, Vanessa, Miss Fabulous, Gade, Abigail, Jade, like that's how I knew most of them. It was literally from drama. And the fact that he said that, you know, I was like, you know what, kudos to you for being honest. Okay, so let me just go right from the beginning of the interview. I personally didn't expect this interview, especially because of the history that they have. Now, of course, they have that mutual friend, which I think we all know who they're talking about, Miss Fabulous. There's been lives, there's been back and forth surrounding that friendship group. I don't know if it was just me, but I really felt emotional watching this video, watching this interview. I'm gonna be real with you, I don't know if it's because of my current state of mind, or, and not that there's anything wrong with me, but I don't know, like I was watching and my heart was kind of filling up with emotions. I was feeling emotional watching it. I kind of felt like Gade was vulnerable, he was open. I kind of saw a different side to him. I felt like he was a bit more exposed, and where with other interviews I felt like he had more control, you know, like he was on job, he knew what he was doing. But I feel like with this interview the agenda was different. It was kind of like, do you know what, yes, this is gonna bring in the views, but I genuinely want to sit down with this person because I have a personal relationship with that person and I actually miss that person in my life. And I think there was I don't know if there was a little bit of intimidation, not intimidation as in like I'm scared of you, but emotional intimidation, like I'm going to be vulnerable and I'm going to allow myself to process this journey. Yes, I am the interviewer, like I'm interviewing you, however it's almost like behind the closet kind of thing, but bringing it out to the public. That's kind of the vibe that I was getting, which I really appreciated. He spoke a lot less, he was more attentive, and I think he kind of quickly learned how to navigate the interview to gain the most out of it, which was to build something back that was broken. I don't know if you guys are getting what I mean. Now, on Emile's side, I kind of felt like he was a bit closed. His body language was, it was half and half. He wasn't completely open facing Gade. It was kind of like, I'm giving you a bit of shoulder. He was very much on the defense. I felt quite a lot of tension in his eyes, quite a lot of tension in his neck. He did this thing a lot, which I do sometimes when I kind of like zone out. You put your hand on your head, like he used that as his crutch quite a lot. But what I really liked was, I don't know if Garden noticed it, but what I really liked was the fact that he kind of broke the ice. He redirected the energy to Emile, because Emile is very flamboyant. He's a very flamboyant personality. He loves to shine and be at the center. And what he done, and what Gade done, which was a really, really great skill, was that he redirected, he renavigated the interview, and he brought the spotlight on him, on Emile. He asked him something that was personal and dear to him, his sexuality. You know, he allowed him to open up, you know, do something positive, which was speak about his journey with his sexuality, which I thought was a really, really great skill. Because I think if he went straight in with the tension, with the question, with like the deep end about their relationship and what happened, I think the interview would have gone off a different way. It would have literally hit the roof and it would have been awkward. So it was really, really good that he done that. He literally just like, you know what, okay, let's talk about you. It lifted the weight off, it lifted the seriousness off a little bit. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but Emile kind of changed the atmosphere a little bit. It lightened things up. And every time Emile kind of spoke about himself, it kind of exuded a bit of positive energy, like he lit up basically. What I love about Emile is that, you know, sometimes you'd ask someone a question about themselves, and sometimes people are shy because they don't want to come across as like cocky or like overconfident, but he's just like, no, you know what, I'm a big personality, I'm a performer, you know, I'm very this, I'm creative, I'm a jack of all trades. Like he knows who he is and he's proud of that. And even when he talks about himself, it doesn't come across as, all right, calm down, like chill out, relax. Like it doesn't come across like that. It comes across as like you can buy into him because he believes in what he's selling to you, which I love. Like I think we should all be like that. We shouldn't be afraid to be like, I'm very good at this, I'm good at what I'm doing. And you know, performance, yes, like I'm not the best singer, however I'm a performer, and when I get onto the stage, honey, let me tell you, I light up that stage. Like, do you know what I mean? Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So I really, really like that he did that. Now, take it away from that, I felt like he was empty of emotions. I don't know if it may seem like I'm contradicting, but I only saw that side of him when he spoke about himself. He got into that safe space, like he got into that happy space, because he's the kind of person, which he highlighted in the interview, who he doesn't take himself very seriously. What he puts online, you know, is just nonsense, as he calls it, but that's part of his personality. He's a very intelligent human being. As we heard from the interview, you could see that side of him. He could be corporate if he wanted, he could be stagey if he wanted, he could literally be whoever he wants to be, and I love that type of personality. Whereas with Gade, he's a lot more conservative, a lot more reserved, and I think he wishes that he could be a little bit more free like Emile. I think Gade will leave that interview thinking to himself, there's a lot that I actually learned from him, there's a lot that I can take from him. Gade has been in a place where he's only just kind of being confident in himself, like he's only just allowing himself to be the best version of him. Like for so long he's been dictated by so many voices and so many people, whereas with Emile, from a young age, he learned to be free. He found his wings and he's been literally out there trying to fly, whereas with Gade, he's been dictated, so he's only just breaking off the chains and actually being free. So whenever Emile would talk about himself, he would light up, but I did feel like there was he lacked a lot of emotions when it was outside of that. I felt like he was very robotic. Like I don't know if you guys noticed this, but all of this movement right here, like this, he was looking in the camera, then he was like, I think this is the viewfinder, right? Like he's looking into the viewfinder, then he's looking somewhere else, and then he's doing this robotic movements like he's about to get ready to be on the catwalk. Like that was very distracting. I think he done that about 3 times during the interview where it was like very prominent, and I noticed, and I was like, boy, like there's something there. There's something that's either you're not really interested in what God has to say at that moment, or you're only there to kind of speak your truth. Like those little moments it was very disconnecting for me. Like I found those moments really weird. I don't know if anybody noticed that. Aside from that, it was a really great interview. I like the fact that they openly spoke about their past and incidents that happened, and obviously addressed the elephant in the room, the third person who God is no longer best friends with. What a time to do that interview for that person. That is literally like a kick in the teeth. But do you know what? Everybody has to just do their own thing, and I think that Emile was completely right. I feel like now that God has separated himself from that friendship, you can actually really see that that friendship wasn't the best thing for him, because he's doing extremely well outside of that. And I say this all the time, whether it's in a relationship, friendship, or whatever ship that you're on, if you leave that ship and you excel and exceed, then you was meant to be off that ship. Like you was no longer supposed to be on that ship, because that ship was taking you to a place where you were not destined to be. And it's just one of those things where it's like, if you don't know your purpose, or if you're not living your purpose, you're going to be living someone else's purpose. And I feel like that was the case for Gade. Now that he's outside of that, he's able to live through his purpose, because before that he was making someone else's dreams come true, and now he's able to make his dreams come true, which is amazing to see. He's doing really great. But yeah guys, I think that is pretty much my take on it all. I hope you guys enjoyed that. There's probably so much more. I thoroughly enjoyed the interview. I felt like it was real, it was emotional, it was a bit of some disconnects here and there. Do I think it was genuine on both parts? I don't know if it was totally genuine on Emile's part. Like I feel like with Emile, he needs more time. I feel like Gade was kind of trying to say that, you know, like if we were friends, like that's an indirect question. Do you think we could ever be friends? And I think maybe he wanted to ask that question, but he was maybe afraid of the response. I don't think Emile is ready to rebuild that friendship. I think he will just maybe need more time. Maybe it could happen naturally, but I think Gade kind of really did feel the loss of that friendship. So it's a shame, you know, people outgrow each other. Sometimes it's just that one thing that ruins everything, but hopefully, you know, they will amend things and they will cross paths again, and they will find ways to work with each other. I think I can definitely see that. But I think now this is a really good start. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you are new to my channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and I'll speak to you guys in my next video.